Let's get straight to President Obama speaking at a live event at Kent, Ohio. It's Kent State University. Just started speaking.
Called opportunity. We believe in a country where hard work pays off, where responsibility is rewarded, where everybody gets a fair shot, and everybody's doing their fair share, and everybody plays by the same rules. We believe in America where no matter who you are or what you look like or where you come from or who you love, you can make it if you try. That's what I believe. That's why I'm running for a second term as President of the United States of America. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. The path I'm offering is not quick or easy. The truth is, we've had problems that have been building up for decades. Jobs being shipped overseas, paychecks shrinking, even when the cost of everything is going up. So for the last 4 years, we've been working to start restoring that basic bargain that says if you work hard, you can get ahead. But we've got a lot more work to do. I love you back, but let me... But I want especially the young people to understand you should feel confident about our future because our problems can be solved. Our challenges can be met. We still got the world's best workers, the best businesses, the best scientists, the best researchers, the best colleges and universities. You know, so there's not a country on earth that wouldn't trade places with the United States. But we've got more work to do, and the path I'm offering, even though it's harder, it's going to lead to a better place. And in case some of you missed the convention or only watched Michelle and didn't watch me, which I understand, let me repeat the plan that I put forward. Practical, specific, 5-point plan to grow our middle class, create strong jobs here in Ohio and around the country, and lay a stronger foundation for our economy. First thing is I want to see us export more jobs, export more products. Excuse me. I was channeling my opponent there for a second. I want to see us export more products and outsource fewer jobs. You know, my opponent several years ago said, let's let Detroit go bankrupt. And when he said that, he was talking about 1 in 8 Ohio jobs. Businesses in 82 out of 88 Ohio counties that count on the auto industry. And so we said, no, you know, this may be hard and it may not be popular, but we're going to bet on American workers. We're going to bet on American manufacturing. And you know what? Today, the American auto industry has come roaring back with nearly 250,000 new jobs. And so now you've got a choice. We can give more tax breaks to companies that ship jobs overseas. Don't boo. Vote. Or we can reward companies that are opening new plants here in Ohio, training new workers here in America, creating new jobs here in America. Because we've been working on it, you believe me. We don't just talk the talk. You know, my opponent's been spending a lot of time in Ohio lately, and he's been talking tough about China. He says he's going to take the fight to him. He's going to go after the cheaters, he says. Now, I've got to admit that the message he's delivering now is better than the one that he was delivering all those years he was profiting from investing in companies that were shipping jobs to China. When you hear his newfound outrage, when you see those ads he's running promising to get tough on China, You know, it's sort of like the fox.
A rare slip of the tongue there for the President of the United States, but a very quick recovery, saying, I want to see us export more jobs. And he corrected himself. I mean, export more products, excuse me. In that quick recovery, I was channeling my opponent, President Obama said. We're going to go now in just a moment to hear from Mitt Romney, who's also campaigning in Ohio, right after this break. The Obama campaign seen the latest Ohio polls as well. Call it coincidence, but the president stops there, sound decidedly upbeat. White House correspondent Brianna Keeler is following the president.
Hi there, Joe. We're here in Ohio. This is the second of two events that President Obama has had in this state today, just as these new poll numbers coming in. And if you talk to Obama aides, yes, they wish that the election were today, but they know it's not. And talking to, listening to one of the spokespeople for President Obama, Jen Psaki, she said they'll put horse blinders on their people if they have to do that several weeks out from the election. President Obama touched down in Ohio for the 13th time this year. A rainy, dreary day, but make no mistake, the sun is shining on the Obama campaign in this key battleground state. Polls show the president is widening his lead over Mitt Romney in the Buckeye State. The latest CNN poll of polls shows Obama up by 7 points. A week earlier, he led by 5.
We'll win Ohio again. We'll finish what we started.
In this state where 1 in 8 jobs is tied to the auto industry, Obama's 2009 auto bailout plays well with voters.
When my opponent said we should just let Detroit go bankrupt, and I said, no, I'm going to bet on America. I'm betting on American workers. I'm betting on American industry. And today, the American auto industry has come roaring back with nearly 250,000 new jobs.
But perhaps the biggest plus for the president is that more Ohioans are working than they were 4 years ago. Melissa Miller teaches political science at Bowling Green State University, where the president rallied supporters.
Unemployment was 8.6% when Obama took office. It's down to 7.2%. So this is one of the places where Obama can really say you are better off than you were before. Having said that, the jobs numbers have stalled a bit.
The president is vulnerable to recent attacks by Romney that he hasn't been tough enough on China's trade practices, a claim that resonates with voters in this manufacturing state. Wednesday, Obama unveiled a new counterattack.
He's been talking tough on China. He says he's going to take the fight to him. It sounds better than talking about all the years he spent profiting from companies that sent our jobs to China. It feels a lot like that fox saying, you know, we need more secure chicken coops.
Now, President Obama also hit Mitt Romney today on those 47% comments that he made in those in that fundraiser tape that, unbeknownst to him, had been taped and was released recently. He said when he comes to Ohio, he doesn't see a lot of victims, Joe. And tomorrow, President Obama heads to another battleground state, Virginia.
This has certainly been an interesting juxtaposition we've been watching here in the Situation Room, Brianna. The President of the United States and Mitt Romney battling it out, and not very far apart in the state of Ohio. Thanks so much for that. We hear it over and over. No Republicans won the White House without winning Ohio. Here to talk about this year's battle for the state is CNN senior political analyst David Gergen. And David, you look at these two men running for the White House just about 138 miles apart in the all-important state of Ohio. One thing our viewers would like to know, I think, is who needs Ohio more, the president or Mitt Romney, in this quest for the White House?
There's no question about it that Mitt Romney needs Ohio. He cannot. It's very, very hard to see how he gets to the White House without it, Joe. The road to the White House has always been through Ohio for Republicans. As you say, you don't win unless you get there. But what Mitt Romney has seen is the upper Midwest, and Michigan and Wisconsin have been moving steadily toward Obama. Now Ohio goes. And if Mitt Romney were to lose Ohio, he has to essentially run the tables on the remaining states. There are 8 other battleground states. He'd have to win every one of them. And by the way, he's behind in almost every one of them.
And we've seen the president with what seems like a strengthening lead there in the Buckeye State. And I know...
Stunning, 10 points. I couldn't believe that when I read about that.
Right, yeah. And I know, I mean, I'm from Ohio and always skeptical about big leads because it always seems to tighten. The Romney people are actually saying their internals show it's a much closer race. What do you think?
I imagine it is closer, and I think it's closer, and it's going to tighten somewhat. But if it's 10 points, that's a lot to make up in such a short time. And the critical thing, Joe, of course, is that Mitt Romney at the moment has negative momentum. He's going backwards. And it's not that Obama is moving up so much, it's that Mitt Romney is moving backwards. As somebody said to me after that 47% of Republican strategists, after that 47% remark, it's bad enough when you don't like the candidate who's running for president, but it's even worse when you learn that the candidate doesn't like you.
Right, and I think the other thing that's kind of interesting is when you look at some of this polling, it suggests that people in Ohio are a little bit more optimistic about the economy than they were just a few weeks ago. The flip side of that is, speaking with Newt Gingrich just a little while ago, he said Mitt Romney's got a problem, that his message is muddled. Which one do you think it is, or how much of both?
I think that the fact that consumer confidence is rising around the country, we see consumer spending is up, home prices are up, things are looking a little brighter. You're seeing that effect everywhere in the country. But I also think it's true that the Romney campaign has had a muddled message. In Ohio, Joe, there's been something else that's been going on. It's the automobile bailout, which makes a major difference in Ohio. You've got a lot of suppliers, as you know, for the automobile industry in Ohio, and that made a big difference. But the other thing is, frankly, the Obama team has just outplayed the Romney team. They have swamped the Romney team in advertising. The Obama team essentially has had over more than twice as many ads on television in the major markets there in Ohio. And they started early in painting Mitt Romney back in the summer while he was still, coming out of his primaries and trying to get ready for the general election. They were ready, and they pounced on him and turned him into a corporate elitist, doesn't care, and he played right into it with that 47% remark.
The story in a lot of these battleground states is that there have been demographic changes over the past 20 or 30 years. Do you think that's true in Ohio as well?
It remains a very predominantly white state, whiter than the rest of the country for the most part in terms of electoral sort of demographics. But the big change there has been, Joe, there's been a growth in the minority population over the last decade of about 300,000, and about 100,000 whites have left. So that has changed the contours. And in this last, this last time out, President Obama won the black vote there in Ohio by 95%. He won. The margin was 95%, wow. and he won the Hispanic, which is the fastest growing group in minority group in Ohio. He won that, going away as well. So, yeah, the demographics do matter, but I really think it's been a better campaign by the president and the automobile bailout, which they have exploited to the hilt. The president was talking about it today in Ohio in that clip we just saw.
CNN senior political analyst David Gergen, thanks so much. Always good to see you.
Thank you, Joe. It's always good to talk to you.
At 28 minutes past the hour, we'll debate whether Mitt Romney can make a comeback in Ohio. We'll be joined by a couple of Ohio insiders who know the levers of political power in the state. But next, a new demand for the president to tell Congress what went wrong in Libya.